There's been a lot of chatter lately about ABC's The View and whether Democrats should rethink their relationship with the long-running daytime talk show. This conversation was sparked by none other than Bill Maher, who recently suggested that if Democrats truly want to distance themselves from the far-left rhetoric that can alienate voters, they might want to do something about The View. Maher's comments came after co-host Whoopi Goldberg made headlines by comparing the experience of Black Americans to that of women living under Iran's oppressive theocratic regime, a comment that even drew pushback from her fellow co-host Alyssa Farah Griffin. This wasn't an isolated incident either. The View has long been a platform that stirs controversy, generating plenty of tabloid fodder and sparking debates about whether its influence ultimately helps or hurts Democrats. Despite the backlash and fiery exchanges that regularly take place on the show, some media insiders argue that The View provides a promotional stage too valuable for Democrats to give up. According to journalist Tara Palmieri, stopping by The View is simply part of the political circuit these days. She points out that while the hosts, especially Whoopi and Behar, often voice opinions that feel out of touch with most Americans, particularly those outside places like New York City or Seattle, it's no different from what happens on right-wing opinion panels. Palmieri argues that instead of trying to silence or sideline The View, Democrats could benefit from engaging with the hosts, using the opportunity to show moderation and common sense in the face of extreme rhetoric. As she puts it, if a Democratic guest can handle the heat and win a debate on the show, it's a chance to showcase themselves as a level-headed alternative. However, not everyone sees it that way. Critics like Nicholas Fondacaro of the Media Research Center believe Maher's suggestion has merit. Fondacaro argues that The View exists in a fantasy bubble where wealthy celebrities paint themselves as oppressed, creating a toxic victim mentality. He points out how absurd it is that some of the hosts claim they're treated worse in America than they would be in a place like Iran, all while voicing these opinions on national television. From his perspective, Democrats would be wise to keep their distance, especially when The View is pushing ideas like Sunny Hostin's recent suggestion that opposing wokeness is somehow ungodly. Still, there's a reason The View keeps its seat at the political table. As Fondacaro notes, for all its faults, the show offers Democrats a powerful way to reach millions of viewers on a major news network. That's hard to walk away from, no matter how outlandish the commentary gets. And it's not like ABC News hasn't tried to rein things in. Reports suggest network execs have asked the show to tone down the political rhetoric. Yet, the show remains reliably critical of Trump and his allies, continuing to stoke division and stir up headlines. Heritage Foundation Media fellow Tim Young takes things a step further, describing The View as a testing ground for far-left talking points. He argues that if Democrats really wanted to reconnect with everyday Americans, they'd scrap the show altogether and find more reasonable voices to spread their message. Though, in his view, finding those voices on the left isn't so easy these days. And when it comes to why The View leans so heavily to the left, Palmieri chalks it up to longevity and loyalty. The outspoken liberal hosts have been on the show the longest and, over time, have come to dominate the conversation. Conservative women, on the other hand, tend not to last. While Alyssa Farah Griffin tries to provide a more moderate or conservative voice, even she isn't exactly a Trump supporter, having served in his administration before publicly breaking with him. Meanwhile, Ana Navarro, a former GOP strategist, has become one of Trump's most outspoken critics. So, where does that leave Democrats? Should they heed Maher's advice and rethink their ties to The View? Or is the platform just too valuable to abandon, no matter how divisive its commentary? That's a question the party may need to grapple with, especially as the next election cycle heats up.